everybody for joining us for this three-part series, Caring with Melanie. And we do have some sponsors for this: Aware Senior Care with Home Care Assistance, Kent Thompson with Capital Financial Solutions, and ESI. And like I said before, we have a lot of folks from ESI on the Zoom today. So whether you signed up just for this session or you're going to join us for the next couple of Fridays as well, we're glad you're here. Melanie Bunn is a nurse trainer, and obviously she travels around. She is in Jacksonville right now and spreading the good word of dementia care. We're thrilled to have you back, Melanie, and I'm just going to let you go ahead and jump right in.
Good. So it is really good to be with you, and I am really excited to have, and I'll show you who my friend is. My friend, Lori, do you want to lean over?
Hi.
Hi.
This is my friend Lori. You'll probably see her a little bit more when we're doing some demonstrations. And she, even though she is a Virginia Tech fan, she is really still a nice person. And she's also an occupational therapist. So she has a lot of experience with this, and another person who really cares a lot about people living with dementia. So let's go ahead and get started. So I thought it might be, we've got some information, and I will send this PowerPoint to Lisa later on, probably this afternoon, probably actually, since I'm in Jacksonville, it'll probably be tonight. And I'll send this email on, or this PowerPoint on to Lisa, so you can read about what Dementia Alliance is really about and have some references and resources to have available. We're not going to be spending a lot of time here, but we are going to spend some time talking about hands-on helping. And I thought it might be kind of helpful to start kind of differentiating hands-on helping from the other two ways we help. And so I do have this slide for you to see. So if you look at this, it's visual and verbal and then hands-on. So look at that slide. Visual is show me what to do. So if I want Lisa to do something, I can say, so let me stop sharing so y'all can see it a little bit better. Yeah, and Lisa's like, no, I really don't like it because now that my glasses off, I can't see anything. But I helped Lisa by just showing her what I wanted her to do. Did it communicate pretty clearly?
Yes.
Did you have any confusion about what I wanted you to do, Lisa?
No.
It was pretty easy. It was pretty clear. She was able to kind of know what I wanted to do. So that visual cueing is things like gestures and things like demonstrations. And it might even be things like signs, or it might even be if what I'm trying to get the person to do is to remember to floss their teeth every day, I might use tape and put up 7 floss sticks on Sunday. And then if they're gone, I know the person flossed. If they're not, I know I need to do a different kind of cueing. So that showing people is a really good way to cue people and help them understand what we want them to do. The second one was up there, and I'll go ahead and show it to you again, and then we'll talk about that. Second one up there is the verbal. And that verbal is really about telling the person what to do. So I'm going to use words, and I'm going to use, because I'm thinking about working with people who are living with dementia, I'm going to use really simple words. So I'm going to say, Lisa. Hey.
Hey, Melanie.
Hey, Lisa, take off your glasses.
Glasses?
Yes, take those off. Nice, good job. So Lisa, let me ask you, which one of those was easier for you? Me telling you what to do, or me showing you what to do, or something else? Let's try it again. Hey, Lisa, take off your glasses. So I'm gonna ask.
The third one was much easier because you did both things.
The third one was much easier because I gave you some words, and my words really did what? So I'm going to ask, if you are comfortable, if you don't mind, if you would please share your camera. I think it's called start your video, because I would love to see your faces, to know I'm talking to real people and not just black rectangles. So if you don't mind, I would be very grateful if you would start your video. It's down at the bottom on that taskbar. That would make me so happy and feel so loved and grateful. But if you are not in a situation like you don't have clothes on, don't worry about, not keeping your camera off if you don't have clothes on. So now Jennifer, because I know her, wants me to know that she does have clothes on. She doesn't want me to think that she's doing naked Zoom calls. So thank you for that, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. So Lisa, you said that the third one was the easiest.
Yeah.
Why was that one easier?
Because you told me, but you also showed me what to do.
So I told you, and I also showed you. And what was really clear about that? Did they match or did they not match?
They matched.
So what I told you matched what I showed you.
It was very simple and very specific.
Simple and specific. And so Lisa, you really need to take your glasses off. We've got to get those clean. So if you could go ahead and take your glasses off, that would be great. Hey, Lisa, go ahead and take your glasses. Can you take them off? You can't take them off? Okay. And here's what happens is we do that. And then I go, oh, Lisa doesn't understand. So then what I do is I go to reach out and take Lisa's glasses. So, what did y'all see Lisa do? Drop in the chat. What did you notice Lisa did? As soon as I went like this, even though I'm all the way in Jacksonville and she's all the way in Raleigh, and even though we watch movies where people can reach into TVs and screens, we can't really do that yet in real life. What did y'all notice Lisa did? And you can either unmute and say it out loud if you'd like to, or you can just drop it in the chat. What did you notice Lisa did? Oh, she pulled away. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate you mentioning it. You putting that in the chat. And that's exactly what she did. So Lisa, why did you pull back like this?
You were coming at me.
I was coming at you. And why did that make you pull back?
Didn't know what you were doing and you were getting close
So
to my space.
You didn't know what I was doing. I was getting close to your space. I was getting in your face. So the first time we did it, you took your glasses off. The second time we did it, you took your glasses off. The third time we did it, you took your glasses off. The fourth time, what didn't happen?
I didn't take my glasses off.
So why did you not take your glasses off the fourth time?
I didn't understand and I felt a little threatened by you.
So you didn't understand and you felt a little threatened. Why was it harder? So y'all drop into the chat. Why do you think Lisa didn't understand that fourth time that I asked her to take her glasses off? Why do you think she didn't understand? And you can drop it into the chat, or if you'd prefer to unmute and just say, we're a small enough group that you can do that. And there aren't any right or wrong answers. So let's see, in the chat, Jennifer said, not able to focus on the words, was using the body language as cues. And there was a lot of this. And Raymond wrote in the chat, too many directions. Go ahead and take your glasses off. We're going to need to clean them. There's something on them. And it was too many directions. And Nada said, I hope that's Nada. If it's not, let me know, Nada.
Nope, that's perfect. Thank you.
Oh, yay. So Nada, what did you say? You said what?
Too many competing directions. So it was do this, wait, not do, wait, do that, back up, or, stop this, do that, and then changing very quickly. So the first kind of instruction, I guess, was kind of quickly overwhelmed by the second and third.
Yeah, so it was too much to process. And when people have too much to process, what do they tend to do?
Shut down.
Kind of get that fight, flight, or flight kind of thing, right? It doesn't feel safe. I'm going to try to protect myself. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying, Nada?
I was just saying that they either shut down or get nervous, get anxious. Yeah.
So people shut down, or they get nervous, or things are just really complicated for them.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first time worked, the second time worked, the third time worked, the fourth time didn't work. And then when I went to put my hands on Lisa, ooh, did that make it better or worse? Was my helping or my attempt to help very helpful or not? You can show me thumbs up or thumbs down. And you can actually, I think there is actually, I don't know if there's a chat reaction that I have that says thumbs down. So you can put up the crying face if you want to, if you're using that way to communicate. So it wasn't very helpful. No, not helpful, not helpful. And so the first way I'm going to try to help you with hands-on helping is to let's try not to need it. And so by using those visual cues, using those verbal cues, Lisa, take your glasses off, and using that gentle combination of matching and consistent, we may not need those hands-on helping as much. And sometimes because of the situation, or sometimes because of what's going on with the person living with dementia, or sometimes because of where that person is in their experience of dementia, and sometimes because of the expectations of an environment, we actually do put our hands on people to help them do it. And there are really two ways of doing that. And the first way of doing that is to think about, I'm helping that person living with dementia by becoming their hands for them. So by working with them and becoming their hands for them, and at some point, it may get to a point where I actually use my hands to do what their hands used to do. So I may actually become their hands, or I may use my hands to actually help them do the things that they were struggling to do. So what I'm kind of doing in the background is I'm pulling up a video. I want to show you a video. And I had it up at one point, but it appears that I don't. So let me grab that real quick. Okay, I can grab it real quick. All right, so I have it pulled up now. And I'm going to take you with me to go look at it. And you should be able to see it, and you should be able to hear it as it comes up. So I'm going to pause this, or I'm going to let it kind of pull up. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint for a minute. And I'm going to show you a picture. So if you look at, or actually two pictures, if you look at these two pictures, what you've noticed is there are two hands there, and there is a spoon. And so what we've done is I've connected my hand with the person that I'm helping in a really specific way called hand under hand. And what this allows me to do is, so in this video, we're going to be looking at how to get into and use a skill called hand under hand. So step one is, so I'm going to pause that for a second. And I'm going to go back and look at this picture one more time. And so what you've seen is there's one hand with the thumb and another hand with the thumb, and we put our hands together in a handshake. And then we shift into, this is a really familiar looking handshake, isn't it? When do you see people's hands together like this? And you can drop it into the chat, or you can say it out loud. Nada, when do you see people's hands like this?
I see collaboration. I see working together. That's kind of what I immediately go to.
Working together. So if we didn't have a spoon, what would it look like we were getting ready to do? A lot
Shake hands, like kind of shake hands.
Shake hands.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm thinking of my teenage nephew, but like that's how he greets his friends, with this like.
So that's how he greets his hands. So another thing, that if Lori and I are sitting here at a table and we've got our hands like this,
Mm-hmm.
what does it look like we're getting ready to do?
Looks like
Kind of
you're gonna
arm wrestle.
arm wrestle. Yeah.
Arm wrestle, yeah.
We're getting ready to arm wrestle.
Very
And
strong,
she's really
Melanie.
strong as well. That's my broken shoulder. I do a lot of work with that broken. I am rehabbed. So it looks like we're getting ready to arm wrestle, but I don't want to arm wrestle with that person living with dementia, right? So I'm going to take those hands and use them in a really specific way. So I am going to go back to the video. And we're going to look at me working not with my friend Loy, but we're going to look at me working with my son Matthew. You do not want to be in relationship with me, because if you're in a relationship with me, you wind up either sitting outside of coffee shops on Zoom calls or doing videos that I use to train with. So you do not want to be my friend or be in relationship with me. Can you see the video? Lisa, can you show me thumbs up if you can see the video? Okay, and I'm going to start it. Let's see if you can hear it. I shake hands with my person. Notice I'm using my right hand, his right hand. So Lisa, or I can see Nada. Nada, can you hear the video? You can hear the video? Okay,
Yeah.
nice. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit. This is only a couple of minutes long, but we're gonna look at it and see how it goes. So in this video, we're gonna be looking at how to get into and use a skill called hand under hand. So step one is I shake hands with my person. Notice I'm using my right hand, his right hand. I'm on his right side. So that is really important, that idea of using my right hand, his right hand, and being on his right side. Because if you don't do that, you wind up playing Twister. And Twister is not very helpful. It's a fun game, but it's not very helpful when you're trying to caregive. So my right hand, his right side. Unless, and there always an unless when you're working with people living with dementia, unless he's left-handed. And we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So I'm on his right hand, his right side, his right hand, my right hand, and we're ready to go. We just do a simple, regular, everyday, all the time kind of handshake. So I shake hands just like a usual, everyday, regular handshake. I then shift into a butterfly, fold my fingers over, and then let his hand come on top. My hand comes over his elbow, under his elbow. So again, shake and shift. Shake and shift. So now we're in an arm wrestling handshake. If you can get into this handshake, you've got it right. You just have to let that person's hand come on top. So again, shake and shift. It really does work. It comes very naturally to people living with dementia. Not that he has dementia. It comes really naturally. It's a very natural movement, very natural muscle pattern. So then to use the pattern, we're going to bring in a tool. Now, yes, this says UNC. Okay, so I'm going to pause this for a minute. So what did you notice about that handshake? Oh, I'm so sorry, Jennifer. What a pain to have computer problems. Thank you for giving it your best. So what did you notice about the way our hands were connected and the way they seem to work together? And you can say it out loud if you can unmute and say it, or you can just drop it in the chat. What did you notice? So Nada says it was kind of a fluid motion. Do you think I've done it a few times?
I think so.
I have done it a few times. When you do it, is it going to feel kind of weird and uncomfortable maybe the first couple of times? Yeah. Will it get better? It's a skill. It's not, I was not anointed to be able to do it underhand. It is a skill. And what happens with skills? They get better when you
Practice.
So the hand under hand like this. So let's go back to the video. I'm going to show you what happened, because this in itself is a really nice hands-on helping technique, because this handshake thing is good for a bit. But if I turn around to my friend Loy and I shake hands with my friend Loy, what we do is we shake hands, and then what do? We kind of let go, because that's what you do when you shake hands, is you shake hands and then you let go. So that's what we do when we shake hands. On the other hand, what we do when I want to help, or I want to connect with Loy, or I want to be with Loy, or Loy is in distress, I want to comfort Loy, then what I'm going to do is shake and shift. And now Loy feels, does that feel good? It feels supportive and it feels connected, but not in a weird kind of strange kind of way. So this hand under hand is actually a way of providing support in a way that really is being connected in a nurturing kind of way. So we could stop right there and have something. On the other hand, we could actually move into some more helping. So what I kind of chose to do in this video, the way I chose to use the hand under hand, is to use it with helping somebody eat and drink, because that is a task that often people need the hands-on assistance with. And it's not as uncomfortable or quite as intrusive, invasive as some of the other kinds of helping that we're doing. So let's see if we add in a tool with this hand under hand. I don't have a Duke cup that fits into my hand very well, so I shake and I shift. I use the cup in my hand like using my skill fingers. I have his hand with my strength fingers. And so now I just bring it up to his face and he'll drink and swallow. It just kind of starts that muscle pattern. So again, I bring it up to his mouth and he drinks and swallows. So let's try so I'm going to pause right there because I want you to notice a couple of things. If you notice, am I sitting in front of Matthew or am I sitting beside him? Just drop it into the chat. Am I sitting in front of him or beside him?
Beside him, yeah.
I'm sitting beside him, and that's really important. And I'm not sitting very ladylike. You can't see my legs, but I'm sitting in, my legs are like this because I'm kind of sitting straddle so I can face him, so I can be in that supportive stance. What else did you notice? Did I bring the cup way over here and put it against his eye? Or did I kind of bring it, he's kind of facing me a little bit, kind of bring it straight to his mouth? Which did you notice? Which do you think would work better? If you've got something there in your hand, pick it up. If you've got a cup or a coffee, or if your friend you're traveling with to Jacksonville brought you a coffee, if you pick it up, you bring it mostly straight in like this. So do this with me. Actually turn your head and now try to swallow. And what did you notice? Was that good or not good? That was not good. So we want to bring it straight to the person's mouth. And that is if we're using a spoon because we're helping somebody eat, if we're using a cup because we're helping somebody drink, or if we're using a toothbrush because we're helping someone brush their teeth. So let's go back to the video and look at the next couple of steps. Different tool. The different tool we're going to try is a spoon. So same thing. If I don't have his hand with mine, it looks exactly like this. Like I usually use a spoon with myself. So what I'm going to do is shake and shift. Now I put the spoon in my hand exactly like I use a spoon. So if I take his hand away, it's just me using a spoon, but now I've got his spoon with me. Do the exact same thing. I put his elbow in my crook of my arm, and I tilt the bowl, I scoop some of the applesauce, and I put it in his mouth. And then I scoop some of the applesauce, and then he actually brings it up to his mouth. Nice. So I'm going to show you something different. We're not going to use the spoon, but Matthew is going to demonstrate the same kind of technique if I were a left-handed person. So I'm a left-handed person, so I will sit facing the table. So some of y'all may have noticed my friend Lisa Levine going. So Lisa, why were you very excited that we actually demonstrated the left-handed person?
Because I'm left-handed and you righties have a really hard time helping left-handed people.
It is very true and
difficult.
Thankfully, you know, Lisa kind of identified we right-handed people have trouble helping left-handed people. Thankfully, left-handed people tend to be very adjusted to right-handing helping because left-handed people don't always have left-handed scissors. So left-handed people, if you put your hands right here, everybody put your hands right here. This is your sensory motor strip. And this is where all kinds of connections, how we know how to do things and what we know how to do. Left-handed people tend to have a lot of connections up here because they've had to learn how to cut using scissors with their right hand and how to cut using scissors with their left hand, and how the world is just not made for left-handed people. But care should be. So care should be made for left-handed people as well. So I'm a right-handed person. Matthew is a right-handed person. He is going to practice using his left hand. Now, if you have a left-handed person in your life who has dementia, I'm going to encourage you to do something specific. I'm going to encourage you to practice using your left hand on someone who doesn't have dementia. And actually that's true if you're using your right hand as well. But especially if you're using your non-dominant, whichever hand you are, if you are using your non-dominant hand to provide support to a person living with dementia, practice using that non-dominant hand before you try it with the person living with dementia. Practice it with your dominant hand as well, but especially for that non-dominant hand. So let's go back and look at a few more minutes of this video. We're almost finished. Matthew will shake hands with me using his left hand. Not that we usually use left hands to shake. So actually what he'll do is he'll shake hands with me with his right. He'll then show me his left hand as a visual cue. Slide into this. Again, butterfly and fold. And then he lets my hand come on top. So now we're in hand under hand with him in the position as with me as a left-handed person. He's going to take the cup using his skill fingers and help me drink with it. See how that works? Very nicely. Thank you. So that is the end of that video. So think about that way of helping you. Was that using my hand to help Matthew's hand do what it needed to do, or was it becoming Matthew's hand, or both? So you can unmute and say, or you can drop into the chat. It was Matthew doing it I was doing it for Matthew, or I was doing it with Matthew, or both. And there isn't a right, wrong answer. You can drop into the chat what it seems like to you. So Lisa, what kinds of things are you noticing in the chat?
Looks like most people are saying both. Both because he participates some. Alex said both. A combination, you used your hand to hold the cup, but he controlled the movement.
Nice.
So mostly both.
Mostly both. And that's what I would think as well. So let's go back to where we started. was with me helping Lisa get her glasses off. So Lisa's got spotted kinds of gross stuff all over her glasses. And the truth is, I've never seen Lisa with any spotted gross stuff all over her glasses. Lisa, do you ever have spotted gross stuff on your glasses?
Sure, at some point I probably do, but not usually.
But not long either, right?
Yes, not long.
If you do, not long. So Lisa's got spotted gross stuff on her glasses. We need to fix her glasses. We need to clean her glasses. So I'm going to start with kind of not sitting right in front of Lisa. I'm going to start with kind of sitting beside Lisa, and I'm going to go, Lisa, hey, it's Melanie.
Melanie,
Hey,
hey,
nice glasses.
thank you.
So this time what I'm gonna do is yep, they're right there. I'm gonna give Lisa the same visual and verbal cue to take them off, but this time she's not gonna get it. This time she just doesn't get what she wants me to do. I'm gonna try it a couple of times, and then I'm gonna try a different way of kind of helping her using the hand under hand virtually. So Lisa, your glasses. Take them off. Your glasses. Yeah, it's good. Hey, Lisa, your glasses.
Glasses
Yeah, off.
off.
Yeah, so it's not working. I've tried it a couple of times. She's getting this. She thinks we're practicing bringing planes in back when we used to be able to ride in planes. She's thinking we're doing something like that. It's not working. Doing more of what's not working is not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this hand up here, and I'm going to get into this handshake position with Lisa. So now we're in our handshake position. And then I'm going to bring my hands up to Lisa's face, her, and we're going to take her glasses off together. So what's the difference between me reaching to grab Lisa's glasses and take them off and me doing it with Lisa to take her glasses off? What's the difference? What did y'all notice? What did you notice in Lisa's response, or what did you notice in how successful I was? What did you notice? And you can unmute and say it out loud, or you can drop it into the chat. Lisa, if you notice anything in the chat, just let me know.
Alex said she has some participation, a level of control, and she feels safer, which is true.
Yeah, and all of those things are really cute. So anything
Less
else?
confrontational, and I was aware of what was going on when you did it together.
Oh, cool. So all of those are good things, right? And all of those are things that let our helping be helpful, because if I keep doing things to Lisa, what might happen? I might get away with it for a little while. So the first time Lisa has nasty stuff on her glasses, I might get away with just pulling them off and cleaning them. And the second time I might get away with even though she's leaning back and out of the way, I might get away with it. What might happen the third time I go to grab those glasses? Yeah, she's going to push me away and she's not going to like me. Is that because she's got dementia, or is that because of something else? So what do you think? Do you think that's dementia, or do you think that's something else? And you can just drop it in the chat, or Nada, you can say it out loud.
Oh, sorry. I just realized my camera was off. Well, I mean, I think I'm going to say dementia, but I also think it depends on kind of the person's overall personality. If they don't like to be helped in general, even like pre-dementia, if they are resistant to assistance or stubborn or whatever, I mean, I think that may affect the outcome or the kind of response.
So it could kind of be partly being a human being, and you could be more
Yeah.
sensitive as a human being because you've got dementia. But how many of y'all have ever been in a beautiful place like I am and have something fly by your face? What is your reflex?
Yeah.
Are you being aggressive or combative towards that fly?
I would be, because I don't like flies, but yes.
You're startled.
What, Ash?
Startled.
You're startled.
You're startled. And so you're startled when that fly comes by. And so you're really trying to kind of you just want the fly to go away. And so when I'm coming at Lisa that third time to get her glasses, she's not trying to hurt me. She just wants me to what? What do you want me to do, Lisa?
Go away.
Go away. You just want me to leave your stinking glasses alone, right?
Yeah, and there was a comment. You know, I want you out of my space. I don't understand why you're in my face and in my space.
You want me out of your space. You don't want me there because we as human beings find being at 6 feet pretty comfortable public space, and being within 3 feet okay if I like you, and okay if I'm not blocking you, I'm not kind of creating a situation where you feel like you are trapped. So you're kind of okay with this. But human beings, unless you have a real close, intimate relationship like romantic partners or parent-child, y'all don't really want my face to be that close to your face, do you? And some of y'all, even though I'm still on the video, y'all, you just kind of reflexively kind of did that. You don't want my face up here like this. So it's just kind of that reflex, kind of automatic kind of thing. So let's take a minute. We've talked about the visual and the verbal and that hands-on helping, and we did some work with the video looking at how to get the hand position, and we looked at something about eating and drinking, and we talked about taking poor Lisa's glasses on and off. Can you think of anything else that you could use this hand under hand with? So you can
One thing that I've really noticed is when you reach in to help somebody like unbutton their shirt, this area right here is a very private space. And so somebody, if they don't understand, they're really likely to push you out of their space because they don't know what you're doing right here. So I think that would help a lot.
Yeah, and you can do this to yourself. Take your own hand and kind of touch yourself right here. And just kind of feel what that feels like. And then take your own hand and kind of touch the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have as many nerve endings on the palm of your hand. This is we're ticklish here a lot. We're very aware of what's going on here a lot. So Lisa, do you think this hand under hand to help with buttons or to help with collars or to help with jewelry, do you think that hand under hand might be a good thing to help with up there?
I do. It's less, I feel like I'm involved, first of all, so I know where your hand is. And I kind of also would feel the movement, I think, of what you're doing. So I would understand better what you're trying to accomplish. Other than just touching me, I can go, oh, you're buttoning, you're doing something else.
So what I heard you saying was it wouldn't just feel like a touch, it would feel like a touch that had meaning.
Yes.
So you would have some understanding of why I was doing it, what I was trying to accomplish. Nice. So with buttoning clothes and things like that. And the reason, the other thing that can be really helpful is people living with dementia when it comes to their ability to use their hands. If you put your hands up like this, we've got kind of two nerves that take care of the hand. The nerves that do this hand, this part of your hand, your thumb and these first two fingers have a lot of skill attached to them. So these fingers are good at buttoning buttons. These fingers are good at sewing. You know, these fingers are good at putting in earrings. These fingers are good at using tools to help us eat, taking off glasses. These fingers are good at that. These fingers right here, are good at, and this is going to sound really weird, so take a deep breath and just stay with me. These fingers right here, this part of our hand is where our strength and our power comes from. And some people are saying, well, these fingers feel really weak. They're kind of puny. I don't really think I've got very strong. Something must be wrong with me because I don't have very strong, these outside two fingers. But if you'll do this, if you'll take your hand and imagine that you've got a hammer in your hand. So I'm going to have a blue striped hammer. So imagine that you've got a hammer in your hand. If you've got a hammer in your hand and you're trying to hammer it with these three fingers, use these three fingers to try to hammer. What kind of happens? It's not really very effective. If you use instead, if you use this thumb and these two fingers to hammer, does that feel a lot stronger?
It does.
Yes, that feels a lot stronger. So your skill is here and your strength is here. And for people living with dementia, do you think they hang on to more skill or do you think they hang on to more strength? Can they grab you very gently and move some, pull out the splinter that you just got into your hand? Or do they just kind of grab your hand with a lot of power and strength? What are you seeing, Lisa?
Strength.
Strength. Yes, it's definitely strength is what people use and need. With, or what is preserved in people living with dementia. We use and need both, but for people living with it, they've still got the strength even when they start to lose some of those skills. So Lisa said we could use it with taking off glasses, and we could use it for buttoning buttons. Somebody else either mentioned something kind of helping you think we might could try, or mention some kind of thing you use your hands for that you think you might could use this hand under hand to support somebody living with dementia. What kind of things are you coming up with? You could drop it in the chat or you could unmute and say it out loud. Lisa got you started with buttons and glasses, and I got you started with eating and drinking. What are some other things that you use your hands for that you could use this hand in hand? Yes, Nada.
It's more of a question though. I think about like hygiene, bathing or using the toilet. That's kind of like, how would you use the hand in hand with like you helping with the toilet?
So like bathe. So let's try that with my friend Lloyd here at the coffee shop. So I'm going to have to buy Lloyd not just a coffee. I'm going to have to buy Lloyd, I don't know, send her a gift card or something. So you're talking about bathing. So what we typically do is if I'm trying to wash Lloyd's face, I'll move back a little bit so Lloyd can get in a little bit more. If I'm trying to wash Lloyd's face, what I do is just say, Lloyd, I give Lloyd the washcloth and say, Lloyd, wash your face. And she kind of looks at it and she maybe puts it in her mouth and she manipulates it. And that's not right. So then I take this back because she's not, and now we're starting to wrestle a little bit. So obviously she doesn't know how to do this. So now I take the washcloth and I start washing her face. What do you notice Lloyd is doing?
Yeah, she's resisting. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Now I'm gonna push you a little bit.
Okay.
Because you called Lloyd resisting.
Yeah.
Now, when you were getting rid of that bug in the garden, what did you call yourself doing?
I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't remember the exact word, but I see what you mean. It's more, oh gosh, yeah, I see what you mean.
What do you want to happen when that bug is in your face? You just want that bug to
leave, to get out of your space. Right.
And go
Okay.
away. So in this situation, is Lloyd really trying to resist or hurt me, or does she just want what?
To be left alone. Yeah.
She just wants that bath cloth to what?
Move out of her face. Yeah.
To get out of her face and go away for all of those reasons that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So let's try something different. So if I shake hands with Lloyd and I get into this hand under hand with Lori, and I use my fingers with Lori. I put my hand under my elbow. I show Lori the bath cloth. I give her a wash your face. Yeah. So we can wash your eyes. We can wash her forehead and her cheek. Is she enjoying this? No. You're not finding this fun, are you, Lloyd? It really isn't fun. It really isn't fun at all. But is she tolerating it?
Yeah.
And so then when we get to that point, then we'll go and wash her mouth. And she's still not loving it. But is it better than this?
Yeah. For sure.
Here's the other thing we'll do sometimes. So I'll put the bath cloth in Loi's hand, and now I try to push the bath cloth up to Loi's face. And now what does she do? Yeah, she's not liking that very much. Now, the other thing that might happen, though, is it might be I've got my still fingers holding the bath cloth, Loi's straight fingers going with me. We're going up here to wash her face. She might start to have opinions. She's starting to do stuff now. When she starts to do stuff and she's kind of knowing, then what I might do is actually slide it into her hand. And now what is she able to do?
Continue the task independently.
Yeah, she's able to what?
I said continue independently.
Yeah, she's able to do it now. Is she doing a pretty good job?
Yeah.
And so she still didn't love it. But was it better doing it for yourself than when I was doing it for you?
Yes.
Much better. Much less scary, much better when I was doing it for. And Lois had a lot of people that she's done this with as an occupational therapist. So Lloyd, do you find that this kind of hand under hand thing works better?
Yeah, and if it's really still not good, I can feel that because the other person will push. And so I know this is just not, something is really wrong. This is not the time, or this is not the way.
It's really not wrong. It's really not working. And so in that situation, what I might do is I might try something different. I might see if we could do this. Because if I can get her hand, I can get her to start washing her arm, washing her shoulder, washing some things here. We might actually try to get here. Kind of wash some of this. Not to do that, would you? So now we're washing this kind of stuff. So now I rinse the washcloth off. So now she's kind of got an idea of what's going on. So now when we go back to this, she's still not loving it, but we can get it done. Right? Yes. Thank you, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Do you want the
Thank you so much.
souvenir?
Yes, I would like that.
You would like that washcloth as a souvenir? Alrighty. Souvenir washcloths when you help me with videos. So gosh, time goes so fast on Zoom, especially when you disappear in the beginning of the call. So somebody put, I think I saw somebody combing hair was what I saw. Jennifer put combing hair. Absolutely. That's a great thing to do with hand under hand. Anything you can do with your own hands, I can do with hand under hand. So that might include things like brushing teeth. That might include things like taking out dentures. That might include things like putting on makeup and lipstick if the person likes that kind of thing. And what Nada said about helping with bathroom kinds of things, personal kinds of care things, we're gonna get into that a little more deeply later on, right, Lisa?
Yes, we are.
We're going to get into that kind of personal care kind of helping later on in the series, but I can use that hand under hand. I won't demonstrate this with Lloyd at the coffee shop, but we can actually use hand under hand to help wash the genitalia or help the person unbutton, unzip, and go to the bathroom. So we can actually use this strategy for those kinds of things as well. So I think I'm about out of time, aren't I, Lisa?
You are, I think we have a few minutes if anybody has any other questions for this information.
Any questions about how to, what to, why to, when to?
And as people are thinking about that, I do want to remind everybody we have 2 more sessions where Melanie's going to go into more detail next Friday and the following Friday. Same time, same channel, and we will send you that information beforehand. And you can also, if you think about questions when you get off the call today and you're still processing this, please feel free to just reply back to that invitation email and ask your questions, and we'll share those with Melanie. So everybody's saying thank you, Melanie. We
So I do-
appreciate your
And I
insight.
don't know who it was, somebody was interested in resources. That was kind of at the very beginning. So if there's something that wasn't this topic, still feel free to reach out to Dementia Alliance, either through email or through a call. Still feel free to reach out about things that weren't specific to hands-on helping that you need information about or you're curious about.